Forest Service rangers were assaulted hundreds of times in recent years, but does it happen in Summit? Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News. First, I-70 traffic was up slightly this weekend compared to last, as 106,500 vehicles passed through both sides of the Eisenhower Tunnel Friday through Sunday. That's 6,500 more vehicles than last weekend for a daily average of nearly 35,500 cars, 18% higher than last November and 40% higher than a decade ago. So far this year, traffic has surpassed daily averages from last year by at least 15% every weekend. Since 2015, federal land employees have been abused and violently assaulted 360 times by the public, and a majority are Forest Service rangers. Is the local Dillon Ranger District a dangerous place for employees? Ranger Bill Jackson.
Overwhelmingly, we have positive interactions with the public. You know, the majority of people that come here appreciate the job we're doing.
Jackson says conflicts in Summit are rare, and that includes tense subjects like fire bans.
You know, there are a few people that weren't too happy about that, and in those cases, after we engage and try to explain and it doesn't improve, then, you know, we have the authority to write a ticket or a fine.
If things escalate, rangers know to call law enforcement, like the most recent threatening encounter several years ago when a man was brandishing a firearm on a trail south of Breck.
Safety is a big priority for us, both for employees and as well as for the public.
Jackson says most conflicts on the Dillon Ranger District come from long-term campers, people who might be living in the woods and have arrest warrants. Backcountry skiers and riders are loving the early season snow, and they've been loving it safely, with no reported rescue missions or serious injuries in Summit County. Charles Pittman with Summit Rescue Group wants to keep it that way, especially as conditions turn dry, warm, and bony this week.
Just because the snow looks really pristine and beautiful to board or ski doesn't necessarily mean that there's not something hidden right under the surface that you can't see.
He warns of rocks, logs, and other hidden dangers, including wide-open fields of grass on steep aspects where snow has not bonded to the ground.
And you might not think that 6 or 8 inches of snow, or maybe even 5 inches of snow, are going to amount to much. But if you get a couple hundred feet sliding down at you, it can bury you pretty deep in a pretty short amount of time.
He also reminds backcountry users to treat November like mid-March, and that means all the Avi gear: a beacon, shovel, probe, and partner. Tomorrow is Election Day, and the Peak 7 paving battle has neighbors fighting neighbors over a project that could cost all 335 homeowners $20,000 over the next 15 years. Proponents say traffic through their neighborhood is busier than ever, led by short-term rentals and ski resort visitors, and the dirt road is beat up. Longtime resident Mark Wimberly.
The road currently is atrocious. It is potholed, it is muddy, it is just a mess with this latest storm.
Opponents say paving would cost too much, and neither the county nor Vail Resorts will help pay the bill. Melissa Snell.
You know, there's just a lot going on here, and Vail Resorts, you know, they're not footing the bill for any of this, so all of the hardship would go on us. 4
residents have even sued the county, saying county commissioners did not follow due process, but the question was already on the ballot. Only Peak 7 residents and property owners can vote on paving, and Snell is worried a yes vote will open the floodgates.
All of our friends that have lived up here for a really long time, they're really outraged, even though they don't live on Peak 7, because this could really set the precedent for other neighborhoods around the county.
Completed ballots for all local voters are due tomorrow by 7 p.m. In sports, the Colorado teams are off today, back tomorrow with the Avalanche and Nuggets. And in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, the girls' state rugby tournament was canceled again due to changing venues. It is rescheduled for this coming Sunday, November 10th in Colorado Springs. Summit High volleyball, boys soccer, and cross country are finished for the season. Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News.